Hello, and I hope you're having a great day. Today I'm going to walk through the process of stripping our kitchen towels and washcloths. Yesterday I stripped our bath towels and was reminded of just how kind of the buildup over time can happen. So this is something that I learned how to do when I was cloth diapering my children, and you really learn how to effectively clean things when you have children in cloth diapers. And so I'll link some resources down below that I've used over the years for the stripping process, and really one of them, I think it's Fluff Love University, where I'm gonna link to most of the resources on how to do this, because I've kind of forgotten. I haven't done it in a very long time. And I just noticed that our bath towels in particular, it was getting harder and harder to get them clean. We'd wash them, use them like once, and then by the next day they were already starting to have just a little bit of a smell. So it's just evident of the fact that something wasn't right. And so what can happen, and this is particularly common if you have hard water, is just over time with hard water, the products you use can build up because they don't fully rinse out. And also the bacteria in your clothes can kind of get wedged down in the fibers, and they're not appropriately getting cleaned out. Because again, if you have hard water, your soaping agents aren't able to suds and get in there as much. So we do have hard water, and that's definitely something we've run into. The thing to make sure of is if you are using particularly natural detergents, which I am a fan of natural detergents. Here is my favorite one, the 7th generation Power Plus Free and Clear. This one has enzymes. It also has soaping agents that will effectively get in there and clean your clothes. Some of the natural quote unquote detergents do not actually have soaping agents. And so they have a lot of softening agents and things like that, which can make the clothes feel cleaner, but over time, bacteria can still grow and be captured in the fibers of your clothes. So we do use Molly's Suds for some things as well. That one is one that I don't believe has a soaping agent, but I do like the way that it helps to clean. But what I'll do is I'll use half of that and half of this for just our general laundry purposes. Otherwise, I'll use closer to the full amount of this and really use the Molly's as a like a boosting agent to help with our hard water and to help support the cleaning power of this. So in the water so far, I've added borax, a 1/4 cup of borax, and a 1/4 cup of washing soda, and a 1/2 cup of this detergent. I've mixed it around in the hottest water that we can get out of our faucet. I'm going to put all of the clean, you do want to put in clean clothing items so that you don't have the dirt on top of everything getting in the way. You really want this to be able to get into those fibers as much as possible. Yeah, that probably didn't need to go in there, but that's okay. It's in there now. So these are all of our towels and washcloths we use in our kitchen. You'll notice some of them are stained. They're not the prettiest. I don't use these for company. This is what I use for our day-to-day. We don't really use a lot of paper towel, other than for like napkins when we're eating. We'll break off like a little square. But other than that, we use washcloths and towels for almost everything. And so they get stained, but they're clean, but they definitely, and this is actually what really made me want to do this process, because I've just noticed the last couple of times I've cleaned them, they still had a little bit of a smell to them. And I mean, you have to figure these and body towels, you have natural oils on your body. These are used in a kitchen where we're using a lot of oils and whatever it is, when we're cleaning up that are on the counter. So it's just harder to get these cleaned. And so I do think that this is something with our bath towels and our kitchen towels that I'm probably going to try to do at least once every couple of years. It's not something you have to do very often. You shouldn't. If you do feel like you have to do this more often, then you might want to look into your wash routine, your products that you use. And definitely I would caution doing this on your clothes. This process is very stripping to the clothes themselves. It does release some of the colors. So you'll see how murky the water gets once this step is done. A lot of that is dirt and buildup and whatever else, but some of that is also just the colors being pulled out of your material. So this should help with absorbency. If you've noticed with your bath towels, your kitchen towels and washcloths that they're just not absorbing as well as they used to, part of that could be because your the fabric has so much buildup in them that it really doesn't have room left to absorb water. So doing this should help soften your cottons particularly, but soften your fabrics as well as increase absorbency. But you do have to follow a routine. So I'm gonna do this. This sits for, I would say at least 4 hours, up to 6, but no more than 8 in the really hot water until it cools down. You're going to drain this, rinse it with cool water. Then you're gonna fill the tub up with cold water. You're going to put bleach. Again, I would definitely do it for this. If you're doing clothes, I would be very careful with the amount of bleach and how you mix that into the water. So you might need to be a little bit more careful there, but for this type of stuff, I'm not worried about it. So you put in half a cup of bleach this is a bathtub that's about 3/4 of the way full. You put in a half a cup of bleach. You let that sit for 30 to 45 minutes. You drain it, you fill the tub back up with hot water, you let it soak for another 30 to 45 minutes. You drain it, you try to kind of rinse them out each time, like you want to try and squish out the materials. I wouldn't touch it much with the bleach part, but once you're rinsing it. And then from there, you want to wash them a couple of times with making sure to use a detergent that does have a soaping agent. You want to wash it about 2 times, 2 to 4 times. I think 4 is a little high, particularly because these are just being used around the kitchen. I think twice is sufficient, but that's to remove any of the bleach, any of the stripping agents, but to also remove any of the bacteria that these have released. They've kind of brought them to the surface. Washing them that couple of times helps to really make sure that they're fully pulled out of the material, especially for your bath towels that are just so much thicker and have so many more loose fibers that are just pulling everything in. Okay. These have been in here for about 5 hours now, so the total amount of time I'm gonna have them in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna let the water out, and once it's drained, I'm going to fill the water back up with cold water, kind of let them soak for a little bit. Really, that's just to rinse out as much of the borax, the washing soda and detergent, also to cool the temperature down. So when I rinse that out or drain that out, fill it back up again and put the bleach in, it'll be nice and cold for the bleach to be able to get in there, and it won't have these other cleaning agents in the way. So, and let me just clear the pathway for the drain and let it soak away. Now that I don't think is from one of these. I think that's something that's fallen in from me checking on these. I have stirred them probably like 3 times now. Just to kind of make sure to swish them around and everything is agitated a little bit, get in contact with the water. But that is frankly disgusting, that water. But it's all right. It's doing what it needs to do. Again, I'm going to drain it, do the rinse, the bleach, the rinse, and then washing them. Now we're ready to add the bleach. I did a cool rinse. Now I have them sitting in cold water. I'm adding the bleach here, and then I'm going to mix them in. Doesn't matter as much because most of these are white, but especially if you're doing anything with like darker colors, dilute the bleach in that water first, then push everything over. That way you don't get the little bleach spots. Just like that. Clean the bleach off of this in the water. And then I don't know, this is the best thing I have. I'm sure I probably could use something better, but I'm just gonna swish it around. Probably gonna turn the camera off and do it a little bit more, but this way, just trying to do like a big circle to get the water mixed around and make sure everything's in contact with bleach water. I'll let this sit for about 45 minutes, and I will stir it every once in a while just to make sure that that bleach water is distributed throughout. And here we have it. These are the cleaned, so fluffy. They smell I should have checked in between the washing and drying, because for me, I can really notice if something's going to have an aroma, it's when it's still wet from the washer. Once they're dry, I feel like it kind of goes away until they're wet again. But I did check these before I put them over into the dryer, and they just smell like cloth. They smell like cotton, not like any particular smell. Also, these stains, we have a tendency to use these like on stuff with the grill, so there's a lot of grill marks and things like that we get on these, but they're fluffy, they're soft, and I'm excited to start using these and getting them fresh and clean again.